in the wrong chapter when I was using uh, when I was doing the recording there on some Ezekiel. I think I named the wrong chapter wrong when I told everybody where to turn in the Bibles, but I was still reading it from the Bible. I think I told them chapter 42, and it was actually in Ezekiel chapter 43. So please forgive me. I'm already getting some comments on that. I got the named the wrong chapter, but I was reading it from the Bible, and that's where I got it. And talking about the visions into Ezekiel. So I pray you all paid attention to it. There's going to be inner gates that's going to be set around that temple, and there will also be the outer gates eventually, whenever it's going to be set 3 gates to the north, 3 south, 3 east, 3 west. There's no room for those gates to even go through anywhere from the old downtown mount. And I've gave you out some key things. I hope you've been listening and paying attention into that. There's just no way they can get all of that to fit on the old downtown mount. These scholars flat don't know what they're doing. They're all concerned about what's the temple going to look like, but not paying attention to the rest of the visions and the scriptures that's given by the prophets to show them the key insights. It's just totally over their heads. They just skip right over it. They pay no attention to it, and this is how easy they miss this. So I was another place I gave in some key insights about this Antichrist when he comes into play. The people or the scholars out there, they honestly don't see a real Antichrist at the very end. It's sad because they don't believe for 1 minute there's going to be a real man, but there will be. And he's going to be a perfect one given, meeting that perfect snare and trap for all of Israel and the world to fall into at the very end, right there when the seals have been set and they found this man proclaiming that their God walks among them. So there will be one last temple set there, and there will be a real Antichrist reigning from that temple, and all of the power of the world will be gathered through the power of a nation, and then all of that power is handed over into the man in whom they claim is their Messiah. I wanted to do some re-highlight because people's going, what? We'd never heard of this before. Well, why can't these scholars pay attention to their own Bibles and start paying attention to what it said? It's just unbelievable, the films I saw and what people has put out, and these people who claim to be scholars. We got students and novelists and trainees teaching the end times when they flat don't know what they're talking about, and neither do the scholars. I'm very sorry. Even they can't put the pieces of the puzzles together. It's been hidden under their eyes, and until it's been revealed unto them, they're not going to be able to figure this stuff out. But I wanted to show you that it is very well written in our Bibles about this Antichrist, when I can show you a whole lot more of what this man will be doing, and I will probably bring some more insight on that later. But I wanted to kind of go through Revelation chapter 13, because I told everybody in my films that this man's going to be wounded by sword. They're going to kill him. They don't see this for real, but they will. He's going to be a perfect match, and everybody that's of the northern tribes anywhere around, no matter who they are, whether they're of Ishmael's children, Esau's, or any of them, or the Palestinians, they can't stand anybody of the lineage of King David to this day. The northern tribes, they cannot stand anybody that might be of the royal seed of King David. The devil, man oh man, how he's always going after the saints. But let me go into Revelation chapter 13. It's got some scriptures here that we're going to be reading through, and where it does declare that this man will be killed, and he's going to be wounded by sword. And they don't believe that it's going to be for real. Israel's not going to buy any of this, because they still say, no, we're going to get a real king. We're going to get a real Messiah. He's going to reign the world, and everybody's going to come into our faith. I'm sorry, Israel. We love you. We always support you. We stand with you. We're so sorry what our president's done, and these people, in doing everything to force Israel to try to get them to sign and make them force the agreements. They're blackmailing Israel. The world's blackmailing Israel. And this world's going to pay every bit for what they're doing, but it is setting things up to the end times, bringing things ready into play. So look at chapter Revelations chapter 13. It says these prophecies, you know, when it talks in through the book of Revelation, it says these prophecies. They've always looked at this stuff as if it's just like a vision that was given unto Daniel. And, you know, well, Daniel was given all those great visions, but yet he was having trouble figuring out what was going on. So the Lord sent the two angels, and he said, Gabriel, make this man to understand. And he explained about all those kings coming down and empires coming down, while the children of Israel would be carried away off into Babylon. And the empires coming and coming down, and rulers and powers that even come down even later in centuries. It would be coming down later, like the people of Rome came down and overtaken the lands and driving everybody out and scattering them all over again. So these things, most of that has been, you can see that he gave them insight to what was going to come to pass back in their day and time, and it did. But there's some key things even from Daniel that is preserved all the way to the very, very end, into the end times of when the end will take place of the 7 years, and the true king taking the throne of David at the end of the 7 years when the battle of Armageddon is set up. He's going to cleanse that temple by his presence with all of the saints and all of the angels. He's going to take the throne of David, the true king. Israel's not going to hear this, because this stuff of the key insights is given right here in the book of Revelations, in which they will not accept. And I'm sorry, Israel, it is the word of the Lord, and I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to do what these other ministers have done. They totally ignored what was in their own Bibles, whether they're under the new covenant or whether they're under the, staying to the old. They will not take heed to their own Bibles. Here, our true Messiah met the prophecies that he would give his life on the cross, and that he would be crucified. But between the two men, and everything Christ done met the prophecies of the true Messiah. But yet they would not accept that, because we've got the apostles stating, hey, we've seen him, we ate with him, he reappeared unto us. And the Hebrews are saying, well, where is he? We want our king. See, all to this day, we still have the same problem, the same blinding, and the same blinding is within not only the Hebrews and Jews that will not hear Christ. The blinding is into the people who's under the new covenant. These ministers and these counselors are just as blind, because all they want to do is spiritualize the book of Revelations and everything they see of it, of what's going on in their world, changing the laws. Hey, our Constitution ain't even worth a piece of paper anymore. Everything is an Antichrist way. These last two rulers that we've had in America, they sound like those two evil kings I was telling you about, those of King David. They certainly do, doesn't it? Change, letting them just letting them go into the abominations. Just tell everybody to get along. You see, it reminds you of those two kings, those evil kings of King David. This king, to the very end of the end times, is going to be the most evilest king that this world has ever saw. Of the lineage of King David. He's going to be one bad dude that this world and Israel has ever saw, but they swear to this day that the king that they're going to get is going to be their true Messiah. I'm sorry, we love you, but we got to preach what's in this Bible. These ministers won't even pay attention to what's in it when they bring these presentations. It just makes, I guess I'm tired of seeing them because of what they're all making it out into. These things is going to happen for real. It says, bless these prophecies, for they will and shall come to pass. It didn't say, bless these parables, bless these illustrations. It didn't say, bless these proverbs that they might be able, and parables that they might be able to figure it out. It says, these prophecies will and shall be fulfilled. And when prophecy is given, it's going to come to pass just like it was explained in the prophecies. These are prophecies that's going to come. Prophecy is something of the future, and when it's fulfilled, it takes place as it is written. It isn't all this other spiritualizing. And the spiritualizing can easily play a form in everything that we see going on in the world, in our country, and the beheadings, those ISIS killing everybody, running the Christians out. It isn't, yes, it is an Antichrist way, but they're still not the man. Anyway, Look at this in Revelation chapter 13. You get your own Bible out. I can't put the words on the screen, but anyway, I'm going to go through this chapter real quick to try to get this recorded again. And hopefully this computer will hold up and not shut down on me. I've done this like 3 times now. It's like, forget that. Let me try these others and see if they're going to do any and get it through. Look at Revelation chapter 13, beginning at verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. Well, they all fight over who all of those kings are and rulers and nations. Fine, whatever. Do whatever you want. And the beast which I saw looking to it like a leopard, and his feet were like the feet of a bear. Okay, they're all going to talk about, you know, Russia and all of that. Fine. Spiritualize it all you want. Okay? And you know, everybody's going to play the role into the end times. They all will. All of these powered nations, they're all gathering the power of the nation into the power of a nation. And then it's all going to be handed over unto the man that claimed they found the Messiah, announcing him before the world, that claiming their God walks among them. They're going to march him up into the temple, people. Put that crown on his head that they got waiting in showcase over there. All those glory robes. The king's rulers. All of it. But you just never... Oh, man. Now one phone says it's out of memory. Fine. Okay, maybe this one will work. Sorry. Trying to get too many things going at once. And the beast which I saw was likened to a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth was the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power. Notice he's getting his power somewhere. And his seat and great authority. Hello. Notice he's getting this great power. And I saw one of the heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. This is talking about the Antichrist. And all of the world wondered after the beast. And they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. Notice there's getting power unto this beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, and who is able to make war with him? Hello. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. They know not where to place this stuff. All they do is speculate. And he opened his mouth to blaspheme God. Hello. Right there in the midst where he's going to break the covenant. And now he's exposed himself, telling everybody there ain't no such thing. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. Ouch. Yeah, that's going to make everybody mad. They're first falling for it. They're all believing it. And they're calling him a god. So now he's breaking this covenant. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints. See, right there somewhere before all of this, he's going to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and all tongues and all nations. What makes these people think this is only going to happen in Israel? You blind guides. You flat don't know what you're doing or what you're teaching. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life, and the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb. You see, now he's seeing something else along with this other stuff he's already saw. So you got to see it in clips, okay? You got to see it in clips. And behold, I saw another beast coming out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And he exercises all of the power of the first beast. See, right? So now we got someone who got all this power, all together and all this stuff, demanding all this stuff, and now we got again that power is handed over. And he exercises all of the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast. You see, all that power handed over, and he's telling everybody to worship this thing and him, whose deadly wound was healed. You see, remember, the spirit of Satan's going to enter this fellow. They're going to kill him. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire coming down out of heaven on the earth in the sight of men. But look at those satellites, rockets being taken off, and fire coming out behind them. You can see this in every way, because everything this Antichrist is doing, it also states in the other books that everything he does is a delusion. He's not going to get real fire out of heaven. You know, look at those laser beams they got up there on those satellites. You know, he just clicks a button. Hey, get her done. I'll shoot another laser beam. You know, you can see all of this. It says everything this man does is in a delusion. As well, over here in these other chapters. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire coming down from heaven and on the earth and in the sight of men. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword. See, I told you in the other films that they're going to kill this guy. They're going to kill him. Here's where it says, which had the wound by a sword. Hello. And now and did live. You see, we got parts over here in the Bible. It says, and the spirit of Satan's going to enter him, and he's going to stand upon his feet. Here's where it says he was wounded by a sword. You blind guides. They use this in a prophetic way, but you can do whatever you want. It's going to happen for real people. That's what's going to fool their eyes. How can anybody die like that, and then now he's alive, walking, talking in front of them? Hey, he got to be a God to do that. You see, they're all going to fall into that perfect snare and trap. It's going to be so perfect, and the Bible will be fulfilled, so they will fall in this. They're not going to hear this stuff. They're not going to pay any attention to this stuff. But when all these people want to blame it on all these things that they're blaming on, which it is an Antichrist way, it still is not the 7 years that will be given. Wounded by sword and did live, and he had power to give life unto the image, okay? And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and should cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Hello. And he causes all, both great, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell save he have the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And here is wisdom, count to the number of the beast, for it's a number of, 600, 666. All right. What I'm seeing out of some of this, making an image unto the beast, what about these new holograms they're coming up with? And that hologram with all these computer-generated programs and satellites we got now, and it's speaking and talking. Look, our computers can now speak and talk. I mean, we can do voice activate, voice turn on, voice turn off, turn lights on, turn lights off. And look at the robots they're coming up with. Now they're making them look like humans, and they're just doing all of these dances and stuff for you, and they're obeying your command. You can see something in that. I can, of bringing something else like that it's being displayed in front of the world, but yet we've got this other fella who's having the power to control all of it. So there will be a real Antichrist. He's going to be killed with a sword. They're going to kill him. And then he stands upon his feet. They may even get that Catholic Pope to come down, you know, somebody of Levi, provided he's going to be one of them. Maybe it'll be somebody there in Jerusalem that's of Levi. I don't know. But you see, the priest of Levi was to set the crown upon the king's head. They got all that stuff waiting for their king. All those glory robes, all that king's jewelry, the king's ring. They got everything, the scepter that they're going to hand him. The golden sandals. And my Lord, they're going to decorate him as a king of old. Satan couldn't get it done up there in heaven, but he's going to get it done on the earth. All those people bowing unto him and calling him a god. But the true king's going to take the throne at the very end. The King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Devil, get off my throne. Every knee shall bow, and every tongue shall confess that he's King of Kings and Lord of Lords unto the glory of God. They must all give an account and stand before him in the judgment seat of Christ when he takes the throne of David. This earth's going to be restructured, people. It's going to slam back together. And it's going to be changed. But there's going to be an earth, there's going to be a sea, and there's going to be fish in the great seas. Until that 1,000-year reign's over. And then we got some other stuff happening right there at the end. And then we got a holy city coming down out of heaven. And there was no earth, no sea, no stars, no moon found, because the Lord God and the Lamb are the light thereof. Everybody entering in at the very end to ever be with the Lord. So may you be blessed. I pray you're paying attention. Sorry about that. I'm trying to run too many computers at one time and see which one I can catch the film on without doing it again. May the Lord bless you. May you all have a good day. I got to go back to work, get on the truck. I got to take a load over to Muskogee, be there in the morning. I love all of you, and may you all be blessed.